Argentina has just officially announced something historic. It has begun the process to join the US visa waiver program. If this is approved, Argentinians could travel to the US for tourism or business without needing a visa, just with an electronic authorization obtained online. This is a radical change. We are talking about a privilege currently enjoyed only by countries like Germany, Japan, South Korea, or Australia. Just Chile is part of the visa waiver, and that, for better or worse, reshapes the map of migration power in the region. For those unfamiliar with it, the visa waiver program is a bilateral agreement between the US and certain countries that meet very strict technical requirements. Thanks to this program, citizens can enter the US for up to 90 days without a visa, simply by filling out an electronic authorization called ESTA. It's done online, costs just a few dollars, and is typically approved within hours. With that, you can enter the US without ever stepping into a consulate. But this program is not automatic, it's not a gift. To access it, countries must meet a very clear list of conditions imposed by the US Department of Homeland Security, and not every country makes it. There are wealthy nations that have been rejected or spent years in the process without ever being admitted. So the fact that Argentina is now trying is already a sign that something has shifted. The application was officially signed on July 28, 2025, during the official visit of Kristi Noem, the US Secretary of Homeland Security, to Buenos Aires. She was received by President Javier Milei at the Casa Rosada, and according to the official statement, topics such as migration, external security, and counterterrorism were discussed. But let's be clear, the application hasn't been approved yet. And no, we can't just enter without a visa. This is only the beginning of a long and demanding process. For Argentina to be admitted, it must meet very high standards. Among them, it must issue electronic passport with biometric chips to all its citizens. It must implement an advanced border control system compatible with DHS databases. It must enable automatic data exchange of security and criminal records with the US. And perhaps the most difficult, it must have a B1, B2 visa rejection rate below 3%. That means if more than 3% of Argentinians applying for a visa are denied, the country cannot enter the program. And that's precisely the current case. That's why this process could take years, at least 1, maybe 2, even 3. Poland took 2 years, Croatia as well, but it doesn't just depend on Argentina. It also depends on whether the US approves it politically and technically, and if there is a change of government in Washington or Buenos Aires, the process could be stalled. For now, there seems to be mutual willingness. And why would the US accept Argentina? What's it in for them? Very simple. They gain immigration cooperation, access to biometric data, and better regional communication. Plus, in the current context, with many Latin American countries straining their relationships with the US, a reliable ally like Argentina becomes strategic. From Argentina's perspective, joining the visa waiver is a bold geopolitical move. First, because it gives the Argentinian passport a massive upgrade in quality. Second, because it can be used as a tool to attract investment, skilled workers, entrepreneurs, and human capitals from across the region. And third, because it breaks the paradigm that only first world countries can access these benefits. But of course, this also raises questions. I have been read in X, Twitter, because if Argentina wants to enter this program, it will have to tighten its internal migration policies. It can no longer be the country that handed out citizenships after just 2 years of loosely defined residence. It can maintain a system without serious border controls, and we are already seeing the first changes. In recent months, Argentina has reformed its immigration law to restrict automatic access to services like free education or public healthcare for foreigners who are not permanent residents or citizens. Requirements to obtain citizenship by naturalization have been tightened, now demanding 2 full years of continuous legal residence without leaving the country even a single day. This completely dismantled the previous system, where many obtain a passport without meeting any real requirements. Additionally, birth tourism, where someone would have a child in Argentina and automatically obtain citizenship for the whole family, has also been limited. Today, the child born in Argentina still receives nationality by birthright, yes, but the parents only obtain a temporary residence and must live physically in the country for 2 full years before qualifying for citizenship. In short, the express access is over. Many people talk about the new citizenship by investment program, myself included, but it's clear they won't repeat the mistakes made in the Caribbean just to make a sale. Here, I believe, to avoid penalties from either Schengen or the US, it will be more like a golden visa that eventually leads to citizenship in a given time frame, without needing to live the full 2 years, but with a minimum stay and a very solid international profile. I don't think they will accept just any citizenship, any nationality, even if the country isn't officially sanctioned. None of this is a coincidence. These reforms are happening in a vacuum. They are directly connected to this visa waiver process. The United States is not going to accept into this program a country that lacks border control or a solid system for managing who enters, who stays, and who gets naturalized. nice. If everything continues like this, Argentina could become a key migration platform for many, for those seeking a second residency quickly and affordable, for those who want a citizenship in just 2 years if they are willing to live there continuously, for those who eventually want to enter the US without a visa if the country joins the program, and for those looking to establish family or business structures without being tied to the increasingly oppressive tax and regulatory systems of Western Europe. Obviously, all of this comes with conditions and with uncertainties. Argentina still doesn't have a regional attractive tax system like Paraguay or Panama. Its tax regime is still uncompetitive. But if reforms are implemented, if true dollarization moves forward, and if the country opens up the world with clear rules, it could become a hub of individual freedom in South America. That's all we know for now. If you are interested in Argentina for residency or citizenship, I invite you to fill out the form in the description. We have got good lawyers there. Otherwise, we can always buy citizenship in other countries within the EU, outside the EU, but still in Europe or in Spanish America.